please state their name and their disorder they have been diagnosed with. All right, so I'll just go ahead and do the introductions here. We have Jude Kerner on our left.
Sex addict.
Tony Robinson, playa, national playa.
Right.
Okay.
Jack Schmitz, just a baller. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's how I would describe myself.
and of course, as always, I'm your host, Steve McJones. Here this week for a Halloween special to talk spooky with you.
We're getting spooky, baby.
We're getting spooky with you.
leave that.
What?
All that stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Oh, okay.
We're leaving it in.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
gotta own it. Like, there's no going back at this point. So.
All right.
This is being live streamed.
Yes. So yeah, this is all live. There
This
are
is live.
at least 50 people
Dude, your
watching.
family's in the other room.
You didn't want to know. You didn't want your parents to know about your addiction, but now they will.
But now they know, unfortunately. So, I did want to start out a little bit with the history of Halloween. I don't know if you guys all took a 7th grade writing class before, but I learned a little bit about the Celts back in the day.
Definitely don't know anything about the origins of Halloween.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is the Celts back in the day thought all the dead for one day visited Earth and scared everybody or whatever. So they, celebrated this thing
I wish that
where
happened.
they dressed up as like in costumes and everything to scare off the undead and keep them away. And that's really, and then at some point, the Catholics fuck shit up. So they came in and they were like, all right, November 1st is All Saints Day. And the Celts were like, yeah, but the dead the day before, on October 31st, come before that. And they're like, well, we can make that All Saints Day Eve. And so that's how it kind of turned into like Hallows Eve. Yeah, and then that tradition of dressing up is like, it's just so much fun. Everybody just loves dressing up and not being, we all wear masks every day, but to do it on one specific day is even more fun. So that came over to America after it kind of flourished there for a little bit. And obviously it wasn't always people giving out candies, and then they killed some witches a little bit here and there.
Of course.
But yeah, it then eventually developed into this like day for telling mischievous stories and like, going out and doing kind of spooky stuff. And at some point, there was actually a point in the 40s and 50s where like teenagers started running the shit, and vandalism was very big around Halloween. So they had to repeal it and make it more of a kiddie type holiday for Halloween. And
now you can just be on TikTok as a witch.
yeah, pretty much. That's your identity.
Now-
You can remove.
Now you can just be a TikTok witch.
Now witches are trending again.
Yeah.
Witchcraft's not real. All right, let's keep going.
Witchcraft is real.
Dude, you're going to get cursed, bro.
No, if you
That's
go with
okay,
that-
because it's not real.
It's
okay.
You're gonna wake up with a spider in your every orifice on your body.
No, dude, there's
alright,
people
dude.
who like practice that black magic and like witchcraft and shit. And
I
even
know.
if you don't believe it, the fact that they put so much time and effort into it
dude, that's
should
fine.
kind of scare you away.
If some 25-year-old white woman named Lauren wants to do some magic in her apartment,
Are you hard adding Lauren right now?
I am, dude. I know Lauren.
Yeah,
She's not
you're gonna
a
curse the podcast now, bro. Come
She
on,
is
like, I don't
not a
keep this
witch.
to yourself.
Is that what you did?
Lauren, if you're listening to this, Jude is a hater,
They
not
just,
us.
they just burn stuff and they say stuff
room-
and they mix around ashes and bowls.
Lauren, he's room
It's
2.
stupid.
He's room 2.
Witchcraft.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go
then they
to
get
room
like
2.
blood involved somehow, and that's where it gets weird. You gotta watch out for that.
Then
stuff.
they get Jude's blood.
The moon, bro.
So I want to start with this question: have any of you actually ever experienced any, like third worldly type, not third world.
Otherworldly.
Okay.
Well, one time I was hungry for a day. Yeah, no, that was
Are
pretty
you
crazy.
like paranormal stuff?
Yeah, paranormal
I can
activity.
confidently say I've never experienced any witchcraft because it's not real.
I'm not talking
now,
about witchcraft.
ghosts, on the other hand,
Yeah, paranormal
can definitely be. They could be real. I don't
So
know.
why do you not believe in witches, but you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. It's just so stupid.
Ghosts aren't stupid, Jude.
No, dude, ghosts are real.
No, ghosts are real.
It's so funny to see
I don't believe in
people's
ghosts personally.
witch TikToks. I don't know. Maybe witches do exist, but the girls on
Not on
TikTok
TikTok.
are not witches.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Can we? Yes, I can agree with that.
Can we
And
go-
I
can we
would
go
like
back
to
to the
move
question?
along from witches on TikTok.
All right, that's
Right.
fine. That's
No,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
back to the whole paranormal thing.
Yeah.
Not me personally, but my little sister, when we lived in Indianapolis, we're in the living room, and Deline she started screaming out of nowhere. And my mom comes in, me and my mom come in, we're like, what's going on? My sister was like, Mom, I saw a woman that looked just like you, and she was smiling at me right there in the corner. And Deline had described her for her, and my mom immediately knew that it was her mom that passed away, like maybe a year before.
Yeah.
And my mom got a picture of her mom, and Lean was like, "Yeah, that was that woman that was smiling at me in the corner."
Bro,
That is
what?
Yeah,
Where'd your grandma pass away?
in Africa. That's the thing. We never met her too. So we
Ooh.
never. Yeah, my mom's from West Africa.
Dude.
But see,
Her
why
mom
would
was
your
like-
ghost be in America then?
I don't know.
Ghosts can't travel overseas, bro.
I mean,
Come on,
ghosts
man.
are light, massless creatures, theoretically.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I can't say anyway. Like, I'm agnostic to the whole idea,
Sure.
But I have never personally had an experience.
I think I agree in a way, but I also stand with the side of disbelief until proven wrong. And because in that, maybe, listen, and this is a stretch. Obviously, I don't know much about brains or genetics or anything, but maybe your sister saw a picture of your grandma or something, or genetically had genetically had something from your mom that had that image in her brain, and just kind of one night her brain sparked randomly and saw whatever it was. You know what I mean?
That sounds like far-fetched.
That sounds more far-fetched, I feel like.
No, for sure, but I just feel like there's a lot of science that we don't understand, and the fact that somebody sees something in their basement while they're half asleep half of the time, is
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems a little skep to me.
I just
man.
guess
There's
I don't
stories
think
of,
knowledge
Yeah, but they're all
passes down
stories.
like that.
Yeah, that's,
I don't think it passes down genetically.
yeah, that's fair. But that's an opinion, I feel like.
Like the shit that
I mean,
happened
I
in
wouldn't say-
Conjuring. Can I say shit?
I don't
in
think
this
there's any
podcast?
evidence
Yeah.
that it
Primary
does
audience
because
is children.
I mean
Oh,
I don't
okay,
have any
so-
Hey,
flashing memories of my parent from my parents.
no, the stuff that
perspective.
happened in Conjuring, man, that shit, come on, man.
Was that true though? Is that
Yes,
real?
it's true.
How is that true? Do they have
It's based
actual
on a true story.
documentation?
Dude.
I mean, it's
when you watch
documentation
the
of
movie,
it's
it
like
says
photos of the house.
based on a true story.
Duh.
What else do you need?
All right.
God,
Yeah. All right.
this
Yeah,
guy.
you're right.
skeptic over here.
Actually, one time, do you remember Noah Lester at all?
Yes.
One time, he told me this story when I was in 5th grade.
Wait. Sorry, let me clarify. Noah Lester, he was cool. I didn't know him super well, but he was cool. Not my only, but the one thing I remember about him is in history class one day, he was talking to the teacher about how kids make fun of his name, and it was a student teacher actually. And he goes, "What do you mean they make fun of Noah?" And he goes, "Well, my last name's Lester." And he goes, "Oh, I see."
But yeah, no, one
Molester.
time in molester.
Yeah.
In case you weren't, you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're
Zach,
all,
we're gonna make sure you got it.
yeah,
You
we're all
get it?
caught up.
Lester, as in the
Guys,
last part of.
He can't get away from this, bro. Imagine what is this? 10 years down the line, and you're still talking about his last name being.
Does he listen to this?
Probably not. What if it ever got out?
He listens every week, dude. He's one of my biggest.
Anyway.
In 6th grade, he told me about the haunting at the Golden Lamb or whatever, and he was also, you know how some kids just from 1st grade to 6th grade just lie for no reason.
Yeah, they're just pathological liars.
Yeah, he told me, he's yeah, one time I went into the Golden Lamb and I went up into one of the rooms and there were shoes in the room for some reason, and then I left and came back and they were on the other side of the room, and from there that's when I started believing in ghosts. And then I realized he was a liar, and that's when I stopped believing in ghosts. All that being said, I did have this one experience which was really actually kind of interesting to me. It didn't happen to me, but I was there to witness the tail end of it. A couple friends of mine, Alicia Tapania and Lauren Pence, went to, this was when Ouija boards were a big thing back in 2016.
Fuck Ouija board, fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, it's some pretty sketch shit. But they went to the cemetery over by my house, across from McClure and that car dealership.
Right.
And they went there and they did some shit, and they were doing the Ouija board, and they were asking, there's a yes and a no, and immediately right off the bat you're supposed to ask if it's a demon, and if it is, you're supposed to say hang up or whatever. Hang up the phone. Yeah, it's
I think you are all touching the little
Looking
guide,
glass,
the looking glass thing,
or whatever
and you
it
have to
is,
say
yeah.
goodbye
right,
to close
immediately,
it.
yeah. And so what happened was they asked if it was a demon, and it was instead of being slow like the other ones, it was immediately shooting over to it, and then it said are you a demon? It said yes, and they were right when that happened, a bug flew on her, and she freaked out about the bug and let go of the looking glass.
No.
Yeah, and right there, that's when they were just all right, we should probably leave, right? And they were just like, yeah, we should go.
Where were they at?
They were
The
at
cemetery?
the cemetery over by
cemetery?
the dealership, across from my house.
Dude,
like,
we should do
where
that.
I live.
We should
Yeah,
go
I know
back
you're
to the
talking about
cemetery
that.
just down the road.
This is what I'm talking about.
There's
Why
like
would,
5
after hearing this
cemeteries.
story, why do you say we should do that?
Yeah.
Why? What is going through your
I like
mind
cemeteries, man. They're cool.
Okay, we can
I've
go to a
never felt
cemetery,
like an actual
but why do a
force
Ouija
pulling up.
board?
You ever
Dude,
smoke
Tony,
weed in
come
a
on,
cemetery?
I have
Smoke
never
Ouija?
felt
Weed, bro.
a
Okay.
I have
push.
actually, though.
It's really.
I can push your
Oh,
hand
yeah,
all you
actually.
want, man, if you
Yeah.
want to feel a push, but we don't have to go to a cemetery
I know.
and,
You know,
and happen to get a
I was
devil
with the girl,
to
so I
push our
focused on
hands.
the girl
It was
pretty much.
I can push your hands for you,
Yeah,
bro. It's
Also,
okay.
hey,
Anyways,
congrats on the sex, man.
We can't,
Anyways.
we can't be having local
Yeah, like
conversations.
side
Come on.
conversations
Come on.
during this. So,
Back-
what happened was they kind of freaked out and were like, all right, we should definitely get the fuck out of here. And Alicia was driving and she went to go drop Lauren off at her house. And what happened was,
Lauren the Witch.
yeah, Lauren the Witch. I was actually thinking of it. That's why I was thinking about it when you guys were talking about it. But, yeah, no, she dropped her off and Alicia was just like sitting there on her phone. And Lauren like went into her house and as soon as she like walked in the door, something like on one of their shelves right when she walked in the door just kind of fell off. And that could have been just like some random shit, but like it fell off and freaked her out and she like fell down and scraped her knee or whatever.
I would have cried.
I would have cried.
I would have cried.
Straight right then and there. And so she like freaked out, ran back to the car into Alicia. She's like, Alicia, this crazy shit just happened. And Alicia's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And they're like, let's just go back to my neighborhood, which is where I live, back to Alicia's neighborhood, and we'll just figure it out from there. And on the way there, they started hearing this like high-pitched beeping noise. They were like, both of them, and they like turned, there was no radio, like the windows were closed, and they started both hearing it. They're like, oh, what is that? And they were like yelling at each other. So they pulled off, my street is the first street on the right, and they pulled off into the right street and just like got out of the car and like parked it basically. And Alicia looked down and she had like scratches on her thigh, like up and down on her thigh and shit. And this is where I come in. They're on my street. And they realize they got these scratches and stuff, and that's when they call me, and I'm like, all right, where are you? Like, I hear that they're freaking out. They're like, we're on your street, and I like come outside, and I see them like walking, and they walk by this car, and the alarm just starts going off of this car, like it just starts beeping, and they're like, what? And like dogs are like barking and shit, and I was like, yo, what is going on? And they like come up to me, and they told me the whole story, like
So
in
this,
tears.
before you even knew the story, you saw that
I
and you're
saw
like, that's weird.
the car alarm go
Right,
off.
right.
Yeah.
Before you even knew what's going on, you said, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
right, right.
and then they told me the story. I'm like, and you brought this shit to me?
That's what I
You brought this shit into my
I don't
house?
want to be a character in this story.
Yeah,
sir.
no, not at all. And
No.
then they
Good
were
luck.
like,
I'm out.
and then the story
Right.
kind of just gets weird from there.
I want
They
to
were
call
like,
a priest.
Yeah, well, they were like, you're Catholic, right? Can you drive us to your church?
They said you're Catholic?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Don't they know that we're not good Catholics?
true. But yeah, I like drove. I was like
man.
driving. I like drove them to my church, and like on the way there, I was like, all right, guys, you don't have to think too much about this. But the engine light just went on. The check engine light just went on, and I was like, these girls, like in my mind, I'm like, they're fucking my car up, fucking my life up and shit. And my church was locked, so we weren't able to get in. And then we drove to this other church, and they like found like a back door that they were able to sneak into.
Wait.
So they broke
suck.
into a
They
church.
trespassed in a church?
Well, they didn't trespass in the church. It was like the door was like lodged open, and I think like it was weird because they went in to talk to the woman that was there, and she was like, "Yeah, that door is always
What
locked."
time was this?
It was like 6 p.m.
Oh, okay.
or like 7 p.m. on like a
Alright.
Friday or something.
I was thinking this was like 11 or 12 for some reason.
No, yeah, it was during the day.
Because that was my next concern. I was like, why was some random woman just hanging out at a church at
No,
like midnight?
yeah, she was just finishing some stuff up.
That's the creepiest part.
Yeah, no.
Continue though.
But yeah, then they just like found God, so that's the end of that story.
And now
then
they
nothing ever
are
happened?
both nuns now.
And they're both
actually.
nuns now, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But it's
good.
pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Pretty creepy
that's
stuff.
creepy for sure.
And so I was kind of interested in like, you know, I get the idea. I just like you all as people, once October started, we're like, let's start getting into scary movies and stuff, right?
September. brother.
September,
Oh
right?
yeah, we got
Yeah.
ahead of the
When
game.
September
We've been watching
Really?
spookers for.
Yeah.
And I would love to get into that, but what
Absolutely.
about this time of year do you think makes us want to get scared? You know what I mean?
I
Just
mean,
Halloween,
it's just
probably.
growing up. You know, that's how we were. You know, growing up, it was always
This
scary.
is
It's
the
a
scary
spooky time right now.
Yeah.
Why change
Right.
it now? You know.
Yeah. You
Something
know, you got the
spooky
election and all
about
the scary
fall.
stuff coming up.
Right.
Oh yeah,
That's a
that's
joke.
pretty
I
scary.
mean, it's Robin season 2. You know what I'm
Robin
saying?
season, yeah.
Oh, Robin season.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was just, you think it's just basically because of that nostalgia and like, well, and that's the thing, it's lasted over all these years since the Celts back in like, you know, Roman times and shit.
Right.
Like,
I feel like I didn't really get into Halloween like throughout college at all.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have like Halloween weekend and then, you know, you throw together some crappy costume and like go out and get drunk. But like, you know, I feel like I never like built up to it. It was always just like, oh shit, Halloween's like in.
That's me too. Actually,
Halloween weekend is now.
no, that's fair.
It
That's
like
how
today.
Real quick funny story though. So I went to juvie when I was a junior in high school, and my senior year we had senior dress up day, and I dressed up like a convict.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Give me
good.
some of that.
Anyways, you know, but yeah. So did you do anything else besides watching scary movies to get into the?
we decorated. You saw it. We walked in, we decorated our door.
Yeah. And started doing,
We got some
like
pumpkins
demonic
out there.
shit, looking into black magic.
Fuck no.
That's-
I would
yeah,
never
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I know. I
do
killed
that.
a goat last night.
Just to really get myself pumped up, you know?
Right. It was really just for, you know, like the ambiance.
Right.
I like reading spooky stories.
Have you been reading any?
No, but I've been thinking about it.
You've been
Do you remember the books back in the day that were like the scary
Scary
stories?
to tell in the
I've been
dark
trying to
or
find those.
No, they made a movie of it last year.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna watch
looked
it.
really
That's in the
creepy.
jar.
We should definitely watch it.
Dude, you know what you really gotta read?
What?
Is like, I think it's called like No Sleep on Reddit. It's just like a subreddit.
You don't want to read that
Dude,
stuff.
they're like a really
Creepy pastas and no
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, creepypastas, man.
Squidward suicide? Anybody? Squidward
yeah.
suicide? Ben drowned? Anybody? Nobody? Okay,
I
just
don't remember that one.
Yeah, no, it's alright. It was a Zelda-based one.
No, I like the scary stories to read in the dark. There was that one, and then there was another one, but it was about like folk tales, and that was a really good one because it was like it gave you like the location and the like time period that the story like kind of came out of.
Oh, that's
and so that was pretty cool.
yeah.
I like specifically
remember-
want to find that one.
You should.
If anybody knows what book I'm talking about, please reach out to me.
Yeah. I remember one scary story to tell in the dark though that really freaked me out, and because like all the other ones had some supernatural elements and like the rhyming and the creepy stuff,
And the
but
pictures,
this one
right?
was just like about a girl who was at like a high school party or something, and then she like starts driving home and then notices that a car is following her. Yeah, and then like they start flashing their brights at her, and they like turn them on for a minute, and then they like turn them off. And she starts going like, all right, that's weird, and starts turning down like weird turns and everything. And she realizes that it's like following, and occasionally they'll turn on the brights again and then turn it back off. And she's like freaks out, and she like finally gets to her house and like runs out of the car and like runs inside and like grabs a bat or something. And like the guy's like, wait, listen. Like the guy following her like comes out of the car and he's like, listen, I saw in the parking lot somebody climbed in the back of your car. And so I saw, and I saw you get in the car without you noticing them. And so I was following you, and every time they would get up to like stab you, I would flash my brights so they would think somebody would like see them and get back down. And then they like found the dude, and it was like creepy.
Dude, what? That's terrifying.
I know.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
There was the other one I really liked was the two teenagers, and they were at like I don't know. It was some stupid hill, like
Where they
make
make
out
out?
peak or
Yeah.
whatever. You know,
Make out.
the stereotypical make out hill. And anyway, they were listening to the radio, and they heard about this criminal who escaped
Hook?
some like the hook.
I remember.
Dude,
that.
this is such a cliche.
Yeah, it's a.
And
Well,
Continue the story though.
God,
for
you
sure.
guys ruined my story. No, I'm just kidding. And like they
Make out Reef.
Yeah.
Make out Reef. You want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
Good
Oh, I
show,
forgot
good
about
show.
the
Yeah.
whoop at the end. Anyways, they're
All
in a
right.
they're sitting in the car listening to the
All
radio.
right, so they're in the car, making out at Make Out Reef, and they hear about this convict who escapes from a prison or something, and he's like a dangerous convict. He like murdered people, real bad guy. And
Not good.
they hear like a tap on the door or something, and they're like, "Fuck this shit, we are leaving right now." And so they pull away and they get home, and when they get out of the car, on the handle, they find a fucking hand hook.
But they didn't even die though.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know.
I was thinking like the dude was still on a hold
Yeah,
on a hand or something.
he was being dragged
I think
by
there's
the
more to the
car.
story that you're missing.
There's probably more. It's been a while.
Did the convict? Did he have a hook on his hand? Is that? Is that a saying?
Did I forget to mention that?
Yeah, I mean, you just said they had a hand hook on their
son of a
door. I was
bitch.
like,
All right.
No, it's
I am notoriously a bad storyteller.
I thought you were gonna say, and then Bruce, the bro, the guy that was driving the car, got out and was like, "Come on, Becky, why would you let me in your pants? There's nobody here." And then he got hooked in the eye.
No,
Jesus.
there was some scary shit where they heard something
That's
in
from
the
a
car.
movie.
Remember, they heard like the,
the.
and they're like, "What is that noise?" And it was like,
I'm trying to think of what movie it is.
There's like
Scraping
multiple
of the
movies
hook.
that.
All right,
that-
Jamie, look it up.
Jamie, look that shit up. All right. Anyways,
So is Tim Duncan bisexual?
Stop.
anyways, so your guys is let's get into it. Let's get into the movies.
Splice.
Should we start with Splice?
I think.
So
it's the most recent.
All right.
We watched Splice last night.
Good movie.
I
Creepy
was.
movie.
I didn't want to go to my bedroom.
what's it about? Oh, you didn't want to go to your bedroom?
Dude, I literally so it's all about these scientists that are working for this company doing genetic engineering.
Sure.
And they're genetically
That's science too.
Yeah, right. They're genetically engineering these creatures that, are mixed with a bunch of different species to ideally create like super proteins or, some sort of solutions to genetic problems.
The goal is to
within
help humans in the end. That's
Right.
what
So,
Oh, okay.
so they have these two, and they haven't ever introduced human DNA into their projects because the ethical reasons and everything.
Sure.
And so now their project with these two creatures that don't have human DNA in them are that side of the research is going to be done. They're now just going to be from those two creatures. They're going to be synthesizing and like developing this, what was it, like a super protein kind of thing that was supposed to like
these
help
weird, creepy looking things.
Yeah, they look like
called
little
proteins.
like meaty blobs, basically.
You ever know like the water bears?
Water bears.
Yeah, have you ever
Look
seen like
giant
imagine
water
that,
bears.
but like blown up
And like gooey.
2,000 times proportion. Like, they're like, it's,
Yeah, they look really
2000 is
mushy.
probably a good number, actually.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Jamie, look that shit up.
And so
So-
they just like get out. Into
so
that
they
kind of
realize
business
that the
and shit.
part where they're like synthesizing these creatures is ending. Like their employer is like no more, and so they were like, you know what, fuck this, we're gonna do it on our own. So this couple, who's like a couple of scientists also, they've implemented the like human DNA into these these creatures, and so they start the research, and they realize that it starts like speeding up, like the creature that they're creating is aging at a really rapid pace.
Yeah.
And
Rapid
so,
growth.
so when they created the zygote and impregnated the egg that they were doing, it started growing, right?
Yeah.
And within like a few days, it became like a baby. But it was like this weird,
But it was
like
ugly,
rabbit.
dude.
It looked like a rabbit kind of thing.
1 out of 10.
This like pink grayish thing had only legs. Its arms were nubs or
That
whatever.
was
really
almost
going
the
in
most
on this guy.
disturbing
Dude, it
part.
was
just
Right.
how ugly
It looked
was.
like something from
So
Alien,
ugly.
like a face sucker almost at
Yeah.
first.
Oh.
And then eventually it just like grew more and more until it looked more and more human.
It got uglier when it started to look more human. That was the freakiest part.
Right. And
Like
then
when it looked like an animal, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But
And then
it
eventually-
started, and they put it in like a dress,
Yeah.
like it was a little girl, but it was ugly as fuck. Come on.
So
That's sad.
so they
Nah, it's not sad. It was ugly.
Purposefully.
it was just like aging rapidly, but also since it was like extremely unethical to
Yeah.
do so, they had to keep it a secret and keep it like contained in a separate lab.
Sure.
And so the whole research was really questionable.
Okay.
And it just ended up just being really, really poor, and like the results were just like
The thing
And that's where it gets creeped. The
Right.
horror ensues.
yeah,
basically.
right.
No,
That's
the
where
thing that they created was like an apex predator, man.
Right.
It
Oh,
had
one
first
of
of
those.
all,
basically,
it had like a little stinger. It had a tail. It had a little stinger. The venom that would kill you if you got stung by this venom. At one point, they tried to like surgically remove it because they're like, "This is dangerous." The fucking thing grew it back again. It had wings. It could breathe underwater.
Not good.
It was faster, stronger than humans.
Yeah, it had those like angled legs, like a cheetah, kind of like a cat or
like
something.
this thing was just and like so they were trying to treat it as a human, right? So the woman scientist could not have children or something like that, right?
See, that's where the psychological problem.
And the whole time, the man was like, he was like, we need to stop this. Like, this thing is out of control. We don't know what is going on. No one knows about this.
It kind of took like a weird.
But she,
what? It kind of took a weird turn.
She kept saying, but she was like, she kind of grew a fonding of the thing. She was like, nah, she almost
she was
kind of
like maternal towards
exactly.
it.
Like it was almost as if it was her baby. You know what I'm saying? And he was like. It's funny, the way they found out this thing can breathe underwater is because the man actually tried to drown it because it had a fever. Oh, no. And he's like, fuck this. Like, he starts drowning the baby.
Well,
and then,
he theoretically knew that it could breathe underwater.
No, he did not know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting to. So he's drowning this baby, right? And at the moment, like the thing like goes unconscious or whatever, and
it stopped like fighting.
It stops fighting, and then the dude's relief. This thing is dead. And then it comes back to back to life, and they're like, "Oh, it has gills." And the woman looks up to him and she goes, "How'd you know?" And he has like this face. And he's like, "Yeah, I knew about it. I knew it could breathe underwater."
They were looking at like they had like a screening, and they could see into it, and it had like these different lungs that were like actually like gills.
Yeah. Well, it looked like it was tumors, but yeah.
Right. They thought they were tumors at first because it was just so genetically messed up. But then he was like, those things that we thought were tumors, those were gills, or whatever.
That's crazy.
But then this spoiler alert. Can I spoil?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is it? I think I know what you're gonna say.
I don't think.
Are we on the same?
I don't know, but we can talk about it later because we don't want to spoil it or whatever.
But yeah, if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, you should definitely check it out. What is your guys' least favorite Halloween movie? Was there like a really, really bad one that you watched?
House of the Witch.
The House. It's like a Netflix movie that we watched. Like I think that was one of the first ones we watched.
And it was kind of fun. It was so bad that it was kind of fun.
No, it wasn't even that kind of bad.
No, it was kind of like it was just like we were shitting on this movie the whole time. It was so bad, like we were like, what in the
worse
world?
than Avatar, the Airbender movie.
No, nothing gets worse than that.
Nothing gets worse.
Don't get us started. Don't get us started on
the live action Avatar. No, we get it. That's a whole other breed right there.
Season 4 to make.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But anyways, yeah. One time I tried to sit down with Nate Obringer actually to watch the Halloween series. With Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And I had downloaded there's like a billion of those movies, right? Mm-hmm. And so. There's Halloween 1 and there's Halloween 2, which both include Michael Myers, and he comes back. But then there's this Halloween 3 called Season of the Witch. And what happens in it is there's like a government conspiracy about them putting out masks for children, and then this guy finds out slowly. There's this little jingle that they have for the commercial. It's like, 3 more days till Halloween, Halloween. And it's like the masks going back and forth. And the masks are like, obviously like 80s looking, and so they're like kind of creepy, but they weren't creepy back then. And they just, all the kids, what happens is they start like showing that commercial, and the kids that are wearing the masks like start getting like maggots just through their heads and like pussing out everywhere. Yeah. And it's part of like a government conspiracy.
So they were like killing children?
Well, I think they were trying to like control him, but also kill him, maybe something like that. Mm-hmm. But it was really just like, honestly, it just kind of took me aback. Like watching the Halloween series, I'm like, but where's Michael Myers?
Yeah, that seems like a very strange twist to
the fuck is this?
Yeah.
To the canon information.
Back to the Witch. Like, why do you guys think it was so bad?
House of the Witch.
House of the Witch.
We're not talking about the witch or the Vavitch or whatever.
The House of the Witch.
We're talking about the House of the Witch.
Right.
Like I agree, it was bad, but like, what are some things?
What made the witch so bad?
The House of the Witch.
House of the Witch.
Well, they're on TikTok to start.
It was just
Don't get me started on the TikTok witches.
It was just it was that typical trope where there was just like the two chicks.
Was it the writing that was bad?
The writing was bad.
Yeah, sure.
It was.
That's typically where it starts.
Yeah.
But then,
can you remember anything specifically?
Jock dudes that I don't know.
Just a character they chose to be in the movie, or also just The characters
uninspired.
really cliche.
I didn't like how the one girl was so mean to her mom for no reason. And then ended up being like the nice girl in the group. Oh. That was such a weird switch up.
Right. Yeah. I don't.
That's my one big pet peeve, really.
Fair enough.
Anyway, House of the Witch. Do not watch the House of the Witch.
If you love your mother, don't watch this movie.
I do have to throw in the Cabin in the Woods. I love that movie so much. The Cabin in the Woods. I know it's not a big hit with a lot of people, but it's like ironic.
I tried to watch it. We didn't watch it.
I watched. Yeah, we did.
I watched part of it.
Yeah, Jude left out like partway through.
Refresh it real quick.
Not Liam Neeson, but it's
Hemsworth.
Is it Liam? Yeah, Liam
Hemsworth.
Yeah. It's got Liam Hemsworth, and
It's the one with the control room.
yeah, there's like
I did like that one.
setup
That one
is
was
like
good.
they're doing these cliches on a movie, but the people controlling the cliches are like doing it because of it's like a sacrificial experiment,
Right.
And so like it's really like in one sense it's ironic and funny. And in the other sense, it's just like actually there are some scary like scenes in it. And whatnot. So I don't know. I really enjoyed that movie, and though the ending was a little weird, but they had like good writing, good characters, solid.
No, yeah, that was a solid movie for sure.
Definitely.
It was interesting.
Yeah, the guy that looked like Shaggy.
Yeah. He was
Oh
cool.
yeah. And he talked like this. He was a stoner guy, and he had a coffee mug that
Turned into a
extended.
bong,
It turned into a bong.
I forgot about that because I showed up late that day.
Well,
But I'd seen the movie before.
That was his weepon at one point.
Oh,
he
shit.
like ended up using that.
That's
as a weapon.
sweet.
That's what I'm saying.
Coffee bong as a weapon.
Yeah.
Damn.
So let's see. Next movie, right off the top of your head, that was one of the
Can we
best.
talk about
better ones.
Insidious?
Insidious. That's a
Yeah.
popular one for sure.
Favorite scary movie franchise of all time. I
Really?
would say. Yeah.
I would say
I just like it.
The
It's
stories
good.
are so intertwined. It's really cool how they work together. Like every story goes with the one that was previous, or the one that you know what I'm saying. Like it's really really cool for that. And it's I think the best part of that series is just the story. Honestly, like I mean the scares are good too.
I think they do a good job of like building up suspense to the jump scares and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, the story's pretty good too. But it's just like not the psychological kind of like
Yeah, I feel
long
like-
lasting scare.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Well, so Jude, you don't like the like realistic, like really kind of mind bending. Weird.
I like spooky. Okay. I don't
Not
like,
not terrifying.
scary.
Not terrifying.
Yes.
No, I get what you mean though, because I feel like I watched Insidious and I was like not a big fan of it.
Yeah, like you know, I think you have to just kind of take it for what it is. It's like a scary movie. There's a bunch of jump scares and like. You know, it's franchised, so
For sure.
But
Well, so my background with scary movies is like I love scary movies, but I watched so many when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and I had this buddy that was Peyton Watson. He was like 2 years older than me, and all we would do in our free time was just watch scary movies or play scary video games, basically.
scary video games was like the shit
Oh,
when I
yeah.
was a kid.
Because it like puts yourself in it and like that, talk about making it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Dead Space 1. That was the one that I was like, fuck me.
I
That
didn't play that one,
dude,
but-
it was.
You guys never played the scary maze game?
Oh
It
yeah.
was like pops a clown
Yeah.
face in
Yeah,
front
it
of it.
wasn't a clown
No,
face.
it was like
the
it was
Exorcist.
the girl from The
Yeah.
Ring.
I think it was The Exorcist.
I would watch The Ring too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we watched The Ring.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
But and then we also watched like Final Destination, which was like the scariest shit to me back in
You
the
really
day.
thought that was that spooky?
Well, I mean,
guess
like
you
I
were
said, I was
young.
in 5th and 6th grade, so it's like I was like scarred from all these scary movies and everything. So by the time like we watched so many scary movies, we ran out of scary movies, so we started watching like Human Centipede type movies. And shit.
I have never seen that.
You've never seen Human Centipede, have you?
No, I was gonna watch it at my friend Sean's house back in like middle school or something.
Yeah.
Like we had a day to do it, and I was like, I forget why I missed it. I missed it for some reason. I think it was going on
It's
like
you want to talk
8th
about
grade.
psychologically like fucked up, messed up, like scary shit like that.
That was
So it was I was like that really kind of like set the bar for me as a kid, and then growing up it's like now. I'm not trying to, I'm a pretty hard ass guy, I've been a junior and shit, right? But like, it really takes a lot for me to be scared by scary movies. And so for the most part, if it's not a good story or not well directed or not, well developed, then it's like, why am I watching this scary? It's not going to scare me. You know what I mean? It's like, I need something that's really like in your, I don't know.
Dude, so I kind of agree with that. But I think recently, like Splice really freaking got me last night. It's not really like
it didn't really give me that much.
dude. I don't know what it was about it.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I think it was just the thought that the creature was just gonna like come and like eat my even though it's like it was dead in the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
sad.
just, it was disturbing how fucking ugly it was at one point.
I
Like,
don't
after I got
dude, you're focusing so much on how ugly it was.
it was so ugly.
I think the point was that
It was
an
like a school
apex.
human.
I think the point,
Ugly.
like that Tony brought up, was that it was just like an apex predator.
Yeah.
You know, like this thing is just smarter than
Like-
you. It's faster than you. It's stronger than you.
Right. It was picking up on like the English language.
Right.
Yeah.
So fast.
Like it literally was conjuring words. It literally.
Ooh, that actually.
no,
does
it was
sound
really
scary.
weird because like
Right, like
they
it
were
was
trying
just
to
like
teach her
so
words, right?
intelligent,
Ooh.
and like oh my god, it was like playing with matches, like
Ooh.
or playing God. Like that's what the
That's what they
movie
did,
was
yeah.
about.
Oh.
And there's just so many. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're
Maybe
right.
the scientific kind of side of it got me too. Like just the ethical like things that were associated with it. Like would I do that? How far would I go with it? Would I
Right.
have terminated that before? Or I don't know, man. Like
Yeah.
Like, again,
I was putting
mind you,
myself in the shoes
dude
of
was trying to
the
kill that thing
scientists.
when it was a baby. When he saw it, he was like
He knew right off
He
the bat.
literally tried to gas it, and then the woman was like, "No, this is this.
Yeah.
We brought life or whatever." You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
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 And you get both, and that's why again that conflict comes in where you like understand, but
Right.
you don't always empathize.
Yeah.
Right, and I guess like it's extremely unethical in many ways to like create life that you know is going to have like an accelerated life, which is probably not going to be like great. It's going to be living in a lab.
Right.
But I guess if
Wait,
they were
don't
doing it at the
They
cost,
didn't know.
Don't we do that already with like animals?
yeah, people say it's unethical. I don't know if people are like actually creating stuff
Elaborate
like
on
that.
that.
movie. Like I don't think they're doing like genetic
Elaborate on
testing
that.
and stuff.
We've just got like animals in labs and stuff, and even
Right.
like eating animals, like
Oh,
animals
well,
that
we're
grow
not- we're
up on
talking
like factory farms and stuff.
Like the rapid growth of animals, though.
I feel like
Well,
that's
I guess
not the
what I'm
bad
saying
part.
is like
I don't know.
creating a genetically modified animal that you know is not going to have a good life for the purpose of science. I don't think a lot of times like cloning and stuff too. I think this is a good example of that. People aren't like just cloning other species out the ass right now because of the ethical consequences. And so like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to spooky season.
Well, yeah. So The Ring,
Yeah,
that's like a classic, right?
Yeah, we
You guys
watched
watched
that.
that.
That's a
good
good
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Is it? I have
Yeah.
not seen it.
It's like a mystery thriller kind of thing
Okay.
going on. But it's also got like spooky or like scary
Well, doesn't
undertones.
a bitch come out of the TV? I'll be smacking that hoe. in the
bitch,
face.
Alec?
Yes.
A nice young lady comes out of a TV. Okay.
Yep. A 14-year-old or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that girl's actually hot now though. So.
Oh, really?
Really?
Turns out.
We'll be
turns
doing
out-
my research.
Yeah, I will be doing
Well,
my
this is
research.
uncomfortable.
But yeah, I mean,
Same
classic movies again. I just don't think they really get me. You know, as
Classic
much
movie?
like classic scary movies. Like
Oh, like are you talking about
like the
The Shining?
Hotel, The Shining, the Ring, Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, dude, Rosemary's Baby is good.
Really?
I fuck with it.
I haven't seen it, but I kind of feel like I wouldn't like it as much.
You can't say that. You gotta watch it. Just
No,
watch
that's
it. Just
fair.
watch it.
Yeah,
It's in our jar.
Yeah, the jar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can
We
we
never
explain
even
the
mentioned the
jar?
jar.
Yeah. So everybody in this house, so
5 of us.
yeah, 5 of us,
Yeah.
put in 5 movies into the jar, and we made
Last 25 movies.
Yeah, so
Yep.
25 movies, and we're watching them all throughout September and October. And they're all just spooky or scary. And they can be varying in terms of like age and actual scare factor and
Right.
like
Like,
nostalgia.
we got some Disney Halloween movies.
Some Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Halloween.
We watched Halloween Town.
We watched
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
Town, Over the Garden Wall. Oh my god, I gotta plug this.
Is that
Over
Over
the
the
Garden
Edge?
Wall. No, it's not Over the Edge. Over the Garden Wall is a mini series that was created by Cartoon Network. It is phenomenal.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Oh,
It's I think there's like 10 episodes and they're each like 10 minutes long.
sure.
So it's like an hour 20, an hour 30 minutes. And it's just phenomenal. Like the animation, it's really cute. It's in the same like time frame of like I think it takes place in the 90s and it's like Halloween time. So it really fits the like spooky but not actually scary.
Yeah.
But it's also got just like a great story and
No,
like,
really,
great
if you're
score.
listening to this,
Like the score is
watch
phenomenal.
This. Watch
Really?
this.
Like,
you guys
watch
all
it.
watched it?
Yeah.
Jude has not watched it. We pulled
I have
it
not.
2 days ago.
Yes, we need to watch it.
Yeah,
did.
and we pulled it a few days ago, but I watched it kind of recently. But I'd be willing to watch it tonight if you guys are.
Yeah,
We've been watching the Goosebumps.
Yeah, we've
as
been watching
well.
Goosebumps. That's more of an.
I don't like.
I don't feel like
Goosebumps.
Really? It's like
Nah.
they're not like great. It's kind of nostalgic.
No, they're just
though.
kind of cheesy, but like, yeah, it's nostalgic.
the Goosebumps movies that have come out recently. Jack Black in them for some reason.
I
Who knows?
do enjoy.
I
I've
didn't
heard
know
they're
that they were
actually
movies.
not bad.
Really?
They're pretty decent actually.
They gotta be so bad. Although that doll used to freak me out so much, like the puppet with. The,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Have
I
you
feel
guys
like it didn't
always
even do
liked
that
scary
much, though,
movies?
right?
I feel
From
like
what
it's just the look.
Yeah,
the look was enough.
It's definitely just like dolls are freaky.
Did you guys see the one where the two kids get stuck back in medieval times?
No, is that a Goosebumps?
Yeah, it's a Goosebumps.
Which
I
one?
think that's Evil Dead
She's like,
2.
Is it?
No, Evil Dead 2 is that's actually what happens.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Wait, is that a Goosebumps episode or
No,
is that?
Evil
Evil
Dead
Dead
is
is
like
a
an
whole-
actual classic horror movie.
Ooh,
But there
I
happens
watch
in
that.
Goosebumps as well.
Whatever the medieval one was. I
Does
wanna
it?
watch
So, have any of you seen Evil Dead?
No.
Oh, okay. So we gotta watch the first one and then the remake. That's all I'm gonna say.
So when you
Okay.
say Evil Dead 2, is it a sequel or is
Yes,
it
it's a
remake?
sequel. So no. So there's Evil Dead.
They made
the
an
first
Evil
one.
Dead 2 remake without an Evil Dead 2 back.
It actually goes Evil Dead 2 and then Evil Dead, which is the prequel.
But no, it's Evil Dead, and then they have Evil Dead 2. These movies were made in like the 80s or 70s or something, and then they made a remake in like 2011, which
The
is just the
80s
first
or the 70s, you know.
One of those
when
prior
people were old,
times,
yeah. Everybody was gray back then.
Right.
It was just dusty.
Exactly.
I'm so glad they.
I think
created
Evil Dead
color.
is in the jar.
Jars?
Yeah, Evil Dead is in the jar. I think I wanted to do the remake.
So have you guys always liked scary movies, or did you guys have
Yeah.
like what age did you get into
Well, see,
them?
that's when you were in the bathroom. I was disgusting. Like,
Really?
how I watched a bunch in like 5th grade and 6th grade, and now I'm like kind of, I just don't get scared that easily anymore.
I was real scared of scary movies for the longest time. When I got over the fear of watching scary movies, when I was forced to, when I was in AIT, went to the movie theater, and I was like, let's watch these movies right here. And they were like, no, we want to watch a scary movie. And I was like, y'all, I do not do scary movies. We cannot do it. But like when you're outnumbered, you don't have a car, I'm not going to wait outside the movie.
Yeah.
When I got there, I said, all right, my hand's going to be up the entire time. And I mean, at first it was, but like, there was a thrill to getting scared. I was like, I was like, wait a minute.
That's yeah. See, that's
This
the
is
thrill that I
cool.
look for. That's
You
why I
know?
like it.
Yeah, it was a thrill, and
It's exciting.
And ever since then, I just like scary movies now. Like it's just,
For sure. Midsummer? No.
I liked it.
I like
I haven't
Midsommar.
seen it.
You haven't seen
No,
Midsommar?
I
Disturbing.
Yeah, his movies are more disturbing than it. Like Hereditary. Oof.
the director.
I haven't seen Hereditary.
Yeah,
yet.
there's just like real, like, so the movies in general, personally for me, like Hereditary and Midsummer.
Is Hereditary about Munchausen's?
Hereditary?
Yeah,
About what?
Munchausen's by proxy or something.
I don't think so. It's about a girl who, like, she dies and then, like, the family has to, like, live with the consequences.
Oh,
The guy.
I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, probably. But my point is with that director is he's really good at creating these surreal moments of like actual, like the way she dies in that movie is like really intense, could happen to anybody type of thing, and then it just kind of turns into this demonic thing. So like he does it in the same way with Midsummer at the beginning. There's that real moment where like this girl is depressed and like her sister's like messaging
Yeah,
her.
it seemed like a normal story.
Yeah, it's
something
just
that
like
happens
very
in life.
normal,
Yeah,
and then it like sets it up in this way to it just throws you into the story, and it's very real, and it freaks you the fuck out.
Yeah,
But then the
definitely.
rest of the stories are just basic. The rest of it is just like all kind of, it's like mythology type folklore, but like scary, kind of like gory type stuff,
Right.
which is pretty cool.
definitely gory. Yeah.
Jude, do you like scary movies?
What? There are 3 levels to scary movies.
Okay,
You've got spooky,
sure.
which I very much enjoy. We're talking Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. We're talking Goosebumps with Jack Black.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Halloween Town. Great
Right.
spooky movies.
Those
And
are
then
great.
you get Scary, where it's like Insidious, Paranormal Activity,
Conjuring.
Blair
Witch Project?
Yeah, Blair Witch
I
Project.
haven't seen it. I
Good
really want
movies.
to.
Good movies. We should watch it. But then you have Disturbing. And I hate those movies. Like, whether it's the gore or just, like, really fucked up, like, stuff that happens in the movie, I
Hold up,
hate those
bro.
movies. The worst.
Where would you put the VHS tapes? I would put those as disturbing, personally.
I've never seen that.
I would say Scary.
I don't know, man.
So
that whole
Jude-
succubus, that sex demon thing was disturbing.
Jude's opinion is like the more realistic, the more disgusting.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so with VHS,
that's what
it's
you mean by
not
disturbing.
Like,
Yes. Like, if it's shit that could go down, disturbing.
right. So that's why for some reason he doesn't want to watch the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching Silent.
Even though it's
Clarice?
a fucking great. Hello, Clarice. Hello, Clarice.
Nah, we're gonna get you to watch it, man.
Oh,
Trust
well.
me.
Dude,
not,
it's
so
so
not.
good. Like,
It is really good.
I know.
I honestly like.
Like I'm telling you, it was like acclaimed. Like in my class, we read the story and watched the movie and like dissected it. It's a really good movie.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, is it really that good?
Dude, it's phenomenal.
Really? Because I'm never fucking watching this movie.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Like, it frustrates me so much that you
I
wont,
know,
but
you're so mad.
I know I am,
man.
man. I get mad too easy.
Off the record, we're
I'm my
going
dad.
to tie you down and make sure you watch this movie, man. You know, like how they put the like little
You're gonna
clothesline
get
pins
you're
on your
gonna get
eyeballs.
fucking
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange, bitch.
Okay, so I did want to end
Mom
the
and
podcast.
Dad, if I disappear, investigate Tony Robinson and Zach Schmitz.
I wanted to end this podcast. So I don't know if there's any other honorable mentions y'all wanted to talk about.
I'm trying to think of any that we.
The Shining was good.
The Shining is good. Yeah, that's.
I just
that's
saw that
it doesn't need it.
for the first time this year. Yeah, everyone knows
Everybody
that.
knows. That.
So
Oh, Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers was bad.
Nah,
What?
I like that movie,
Come
man.
on.
I'd have to say
Oh,
It was so good.
just based off the title, it sounds bad.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers.
That was so good.
No, I'm done with that.
Dude, I don't know, guys. Like, I guess I wasn't paying too much attention to it because
you
it
probably
didn't
fell asleep or
captivate.
something,
It didn't
man.
captivate me, man. It
I
was.
was captivated.
Yeah, I was too. Anyway, Jeepers
So the
Creepers
question that I wanted to pose to wrap up the podcast: what do you think the worst way to die would be?
good. Worst way to die.
I heard about this way where it was at the beginning of Seven Psychopaths. These guys are just talking about how they used to torture somebody by like they would hold their eyes open and with little needles would poke and come back and forth and poke farther and farther into their eyes.
Holy shit.
Until they
Yo, that would be awful.
That'd be my least favorite way to die.
like
That's
you,
for sure.
he just constantly.
Yeah,
That
and if
sounds-
you turn your eyes, then it just starts over, and you like it. It just starts another.
You blink.
Yeah, if you blink, well, they hold the eyes open, so
That sounds like a tattoo gun,
it's a two gun, exactly. Yeah,
but on your eyes.
Who was talking about that?
it's in a movie. They were just talking about these two guys. Yeah,
Okay.
Was that a true
it wasn't
story?
scary. Well, yeah,
they're
I think
saying
it was,
they-
it was based off of a real torture tactic that people used to use. Yeah,
I know this one that I think the Vikings used to do. It was called like the Bloody Eagle or something.
The Bloody Eagle.
They would
I'm
like
sorry.
cut open your back
Ooh.
and like pull your ribs out,
Oh.
so it made it look like you had wings or something. And then eventually you just died.
That's kind of what they did in
I don't know how you
Midsommar, where
would
they like
die.
opened that guy
You
up,
wouldn't
but
die.
still
You
had
just
all his
bleed out.
organs and shit.
No, I don't see how you wouldn't
these
die.
these are all
before-
torture, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about ways to die through torture all day, but like, 'cause I feel like we can argue that torture is probably the worst way to die. But
Yeah,
like,
there's
other
any
than
sort of
torture
torture.
though, like
Yeah, that's
Drowning would suck. I hear drowning's not fun.
Yeah, I could. I would say so. I don't know. I feel like at some point you just kind of like drift off. Like, yeah, it sucks. Your initial reaction. What? So I listened to this interview with Margot Robbie where she had to like learn to hold her breath for a certain amount of time, and a lot of the part of drowning and like the scary part is like psychologically your brain just goes into panic mode. So
Right.
if you can override that panic mode and just kind of accept it, it's not as bad.
I mean, breathing to me, like you need to
Yeah.
breathe. You know what I'm
Yeah, no,
saying?
that's
Like,
fair,
Once you
yeah.
start not breathing, you're like
Yeah.
Like you're
way
trying
to die though.
Huh?
Freezing to death would be the
Oh, freezing to death
Did you
would
say
be awful.
Did you just say it would be the best?
best. Yeah, dude.
Wait, no. The worst.
No,
my
no,
opinion
no.
was the worst way to die.
No,
freezing to
because
death.
when you freeze to death, it's really peaceful apparently, and at some point you stop being cold and you just kind of fall asleep.
I feel
So
like
what about
I feel
the
like
whole
all-
time you're freezing to death?
Well, the part where you're freezing would suck, but when you start to die,
Well,
it
that's a
stops
whole
being
death
cold.
process, right? You're dying
no.
as you freeze.
That's
No,
like-
I think I can agree.
I feel like it would be
Nah,
so.
man,
If
I hate the cold. That's why I'm saying. I
No,
hate
no.
it.
So I don't mind the cold. Like I've been in really cold scenarios and like slept in shitty situations before. But like it's not necessarily fun because it's prolonged. I think that's the difference. Like if you're drowning, it's gonna last max like 5 minutes. Like if you could hold your breath that long.
Yeah.
True.
But like,
But,
I
like,
said,
when
at
you're
some
freezing,
point,
like,
you stop
depending-
being cold and you just kind of like.
Yeah,
apparently
at
it's
some
really
point,
peaceful.
and it depends on where you are, of course. But
Why-
like, in
so
your,
if you're
You
talking
gotta
about,
just have. Then at that point, it's just like a psychological.
if you're
acceptance
talking about
of
the
that.
best way to die and you're saying because it's peaceful, why not just die of old age? Right? Isn't that?
Well,
I don't know,
see,
old age
people
might
don't
not
just
be
die of
peaceful.
old age. You gotta have like a
They,
heart
like,
attack or like your
deteriorate.
lungs collapse or something.
Right, but like, are you in pain the whole time? I don't know. So I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, if
Well,
your lungs
it
collapse, it's
depends.
gonna hurt a little
no,
bit.
like there's
If
like
you-
There's people
I-
that like die when they're sleeping. Like I've heard
Yeah.
stories like they're old, they're sleeping down, and they just like
If
don't
you
wake
die
up.
in your sleep,
Right.
That
that's a
actually
good
doesn't
way.
sound bad. That's the
If
best
you
way.
just die from being old, like your body just kind of stops, that's also nice. I've heard.
Yeah.
Freezing to death, of course. You
Nah,
guys might
man,
disagree.
freezing to death.
Yeah,
nah.
you guys gotta look it
It's
up.
not the
okay?
same. No,
You
no,
gotta-
no, so,
what do you
like,
mean? You ever
I kind of
you
believe
freeze-
Jude just
No,
because
I
we're
believe
doing
what you're
insane
saying.
amount of research on this. You know.
Thank you.
Jude, I believe what you're saying, but that's like the last like I want to say 5 minutes of your life, right?
Yeah.
Like that's probably 5
Well,
minutes.
these are also
And you're
people
like-
who are like climbing mountains and stuff.
right.
They told
But
the
I'm
story?
talking about like
No.
there are people that,
Yeah, you told the story.
there are people that are
Listen, bro,
freezing
relax.
that freeze to death that aren't just climbing mountains. Like there's like normal situations, and so like I guess the point I'm trying to make is you're not just going to go from 0 to freezing to
Freezing
death
cold.
in a second.
There's going to be a
There-
whole.
There's
the
going
whole
to be
process is
a
I mean,
very prolonged.
You are going
point.
to be very cold at some point.
No,
but the
but, like-
actual dying is apparently pretty chill.
Like the actual dying, but I think that it would take like I don't know how many hours, potentially days, depending on how cold it is.
Yeah.
Don't they say
bro?
like
Nah.
if you get
Yeah.
stabbed to death, right? It's
Dude.
The process is painful, but the actual dying is the peaceful part. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's
Like,
it's painful, bro. Look, all I know is I've done a lot of research, and people say that freezing to death is a great way to go. All right.
I think my favorite way would be like falling out of a plane without a parachute, because then you just get to fall and then you die.
You do it on purpose, or you fall
Well,
off?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say that, but I mean, you
gotcha.
know, in what situation are you gonna be
Oops,
going off a
forgot
plane?
the parachute.
without a parachute?
Well, I
Yeah.
guess the context would be you're going you're gonna go skydiving and then your parachute doesn't deploy.
or like fails.
That's fair.
Or if
yeah.
it's
And then at
Sometimes
some
you don't
point,
die,
like
though.
you have that panic in your mind, but you have to like quickly be like, well, I'm gonna fucking die real quick, so I mean, I gotta like accept it and move on. And it depends on how
I got about
quickly.
30 seconds of free fall
Yeah.
before I smack into this concrete.
Yeah, and so that's when you get like 30 seconds to say your prayers and like whatever.
know,
Remember,
I've actually
you
done
pull out your
research on this
iPhone.
topic as
Yeah.
well. And I've actually done research on this topic as well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to die if you don't have a parachute. There's like ways to set yourself up with like more of a chance of surviving.
But see, that's not
if
what
you
we're talking
go
about.
unconscious and stuff like that.
No, you're supposed to like spread out like a
Yeah.
flying squirrel, and you're supposed to aim for roofs. Actually,
Roofs.
don't know why.
That
Well,
doesn't make sense.
we're talking about smacking the ground though. Like you go.
I don't think that makes
Bounce
sense
off
though,
the
because at some point you're gonna fall at the same velocity. There's that one velocity speed where you
terminal.
just
Yeah.
terminal.
And that's why it doesn't matter. I don't know how high you have to fall from to reach terminal velocity.
Yeah, it's like.
But like you don't
3 stories
have
or
to
something.
die.
Yeah.
So like you can.
I don't
make
know,
it
man. I feel like
Yeah, there are
how
people
many-
that do
Yeah.
survive. but-
Don't aim for the water though. Big
They
mistake.
do survive like parachute accidents, like the parachute. does
No,
not-
like people survive. Like there's been stories.
Like their parachute doesn't
deploy.
deploy and they still make it.
Is it like
You like?
completely
I think you should
deploy,
go like aim for a
halfway
tree,
functional.
And that way, like,
No, dude, if you aim for a tree, you're going to get
You get
branches
impaled,
all
bro.
throughout your body.
Yeah.
Even when the parachute does deploy, when people hit trees, it's bad.
Right, like if you're landing do not go for trees.
Alright, but what if you see a tree with really big, comfy looking leaves?
Then it's a deception,
tree is
and you're gonna
deceive
fucking
you.
get it
And kill you.
Alright, fair enough.
So the time I went skydiving, the same day, it was extremely windy that day. And in a town over, there was another skydiving group that one of them broke like their wrists and everything.
Whoa.
I don't know exactly, but they were like extremely injured
Yeah.
because the wind blew them off course. And I think he had to avoid trees, and ended up landing way too quick and like broke his ankles and wrists and shit.
And then you actually died, and you're actually
And then
a
I
ghost.
died. I'm a ghost, so ghosts are real.
Ooh. Alright, now we gotta all do the noises again. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Oh God, shut up! Yeah, 2 phones, 1 for
Well, that's the Hunger Games. That ain't scary.
Hey, man.
You gotta do it. It's like the.
Jeepers, creepers, gotta get that Jeep.
Bye, Miss American Pie.
So
That's so scary, bro. Don't talk about that song. It's actually really scary.
American nationalism is pretty scary.
Well, I was just talking about people dying on the airplane, but you know.
Oh, yes.
And he says the Holy Ghost, so there's that. You know, it definitely adds to the scary stuff.
That's definitely spooky.
American Pie, spooky or not spooky, Schmitz?
American Pie?
Yeah.
The song?
Yeah.
Spooky.
Spooky. for
No,
sure.
it's not spooky. It's a good song.
Why
It's a
not?
good song. It's a good song.
I don't know, dude. What's your reasoning?
For that being spooky?
Yeah.
All right, I am ready.
We're good. All right. We also gotta watch.
Let me
for,
get the metal like.
Yeah. We also gotta watch for bumping the
Bumping the
table and
tables and
shit,
stuff.
and like setting
Alright.
setting shit down.
Ooh, all right. When we start though, let's do the ooh. All right.
You just go too much into it.
It's like
Alright.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Youngsters.
No.
Jesus.
Yeah. That sounds like Courage's voice, and then how the fucking
Stop it, dog.
Yeah, I
how
don't
does
even know.
Eustace sound?
Like a dick. That's how
Shit,
it
like a
sounds.
dick.
It's
Yeah.
not stupid.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this on.
Can
ground.
it pick up farts?
I haven't touched it.
Depends what they rate on the
Yeah, on the
on the Richter scale.
Tony's like, alright, this will be a quiet one. Shits his pants. Tony just elevates an inch.
Anyway, speaking of spooky, that was pretty scary right there, Tony. Man, no.
Yeah.
Tony shitting his pants. I don't know how scary that is. It's pretty.
Speaking of spooky stuff, something just died in Tony's ass.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
Alright, let's do this.
I thought it was recording.
It is recording, and I'm leaving all of this in. I
Oh.
hope you know for sure.
Actually?
Oh, I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
It's recording.
Wait, I thought we were gonna
Hey,
ooh.
bring it back in,
Start
bring it
it
back
over.
in, bring it back in.
Yeah, I can just cut it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.